For sure, yeah. I mean, liked their game a lot, 5-on-5. Thought we held on the pucks, made some things happen, came back in the game, and we're excited to come back home to our fans here, and yeah, excited to get on the ice in front of them. It's been a long time since there's been a playoff game in this building, so really excited.
What is the focus on the preparation as you guys head back here to Ottawa?
Yeah, I mean, in the playoffs, you got to move on as quick as you can from games. There's a game every second day, so lots of excitement, lots of confidence in the group coming in. Like I said, we're really excited to get in front of our home fans in this rink tomorrow.
You said it was a different ball game after the first 10 minutes on the bench of that first game. What have you just picked up from Toronto in these two games and what they've been doing well against you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been pretty even, 5-on-5 for the most part. So, they're playing good. I think we're playing good also. So, it's gonna be a good series, and hopefully we can get a win tomorrow and make it interesting.
How do you feel your line played at 5-on-5? I know there were some changes partway through with Fabian, but how do you feel you played at that level?
Yeah, I liked it in the second and third. I thought we created a few chances there late in the game. But no matter who I'm out there with, whether it's DP or Z, they're both great players and a lot of fun to play with.
Can you take us through what you saw on the overtime goal with Max Domi? I know you're on the ice for that.
Yeah, no, you live and you learn. I mean, you make a mistake and you learn from it, and sometimes it's the hard way, and obviously it costs us the game. So live and you learn, but like I said, you got to move on and move on to the next one. But definitely wish I could have that one back, to say the least.
What's the response in the room to a mistake like that to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a lot on me, to be honest with you. But like I said, you live and you learn the hard way. But the best thing you can do is come out tomorrow and try to make a difference.
Brady mentioned yesterday that he didn't sense any ounce of panic in any of his guys after that loss. Just curious from your vantage point, what was it like for you to be in that room where no one else seemed to be showing that panic, but you were still processing how that ended?
Yeah, I mean, for me, after every shift, I'm processing my last shift. So obviously it's disappointing to lose in overtime, especially when you're the guy that maybe turned the puck over or whatever. But like I said, you got to move on. The games, you can't be dwelling on the last game going into tomorrow's game. It's not going to do myself or anyone any good. So, like I said, a lot of confidence in the group, like Brady said, and excited for tomorrow.
Controlling emotions going to be a key here tomorrow. Obviously, a different kind of energy in the building.
Yeah, I think everyone was really jacked up for the first two games, but definitely coming in to your rink where the fans are behind you, there's going to be a lot of energy, and you just got to control it, but at the same time play hard. And but no, for sure you can get overwhelmed sometimes when there's too much energy, but just controlling that. But at the same time, you don't want to let your foot off the gas, and I don't think that'll be a problem.
How important is a strong start tomorrow, not getting behind?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in playoffs, the home team usually comes out pretty hard, and I feel like we're going to be like that tomorrow. We're going to be confident coming out, and like you said, it'd be nice to get up one early, maybe in the first rather than trailing in the first two games. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Ridley, how many messages are you getting about your exchange with Stolarz last night?
Not much, to be honest. Just a nice battle in front of the net. That's about it.
When you were in that battle, did you think that he was going to get called for a penalty? What was going through your mind?
I assumed there was going to be a penalty. Yeah, I didn't think too much about it, but in the moment, you're just kind of battling, yeah.
Were you surprised when you got the penalty after, too?
Maybe a touch, yeah.
What's that relationship like with the goalie in front of the net? Like, what do how do you play with them? How do they play with you?
Well, you're just trying to get in his eyes. There's kind of a fine line of being inside the crease and just on top of it. But yeah, I was just trying to battle in front of the net. He was, he wasn't having it. So yeah, I love to compete. It was good.
Are you feeding off this kind of style of hockey in competition?
Yeah, it's certainly a lot of fun. I can't remember the last two games. I don't think I've ever had that much fun playing hockey. So just enjoying it, and the compete's certainly a lot of fun.
Much change when you're on home ice?
Yeah, it'll be a different vibe here for sure. I know Sens fans have been looking forward to this for a while now, so I'm looking forward to get out there.
What's made these last two games so much fun for you?
Just to compete, the energy in the building, the intensity, so many different things. But yeah, it's just been a lot of fun.
How different did the game change for you, given that it was only 2 penalties you guys had last night compared to like 15 on game one?
Yeah, obviously game one we took too many penalties, and their power play kind of ate up. That's one thing we certainly got to be disciplined going into these next couple of games here.
What is it?
An explanation on the way to the box as to why it was offsetting minors?
No, I think he called it a roughing.
What does it mean to be a thorn in the side of the Toronto Maple Leafs? Obviously, the fans have focused a lot on Kachuk the last few days and Ullmark, but you're a big enemy to a lot of people out in Toronto. What does it mean to be that personage in this rivalry?
Yeah, I don't know. I think people can kind of say whatever they want. I'm just trying to go out there and play, and kind of just do whatever I can to try to help the guys win.
Do you enjoy being public enemy number one in Toronto?
I don't spend too much time on social media, so I could care less, to be honest.
Take us through that.
Go ahead.
Take us through that play in game one, just because we haven't talked to you since. Like just that when you the dash to the net late in the game, only because there's a few on their side that felt that it was accidentally on purpose type.
Yeah, it was. I think it was on the penalty kill, and I saw it was Marner, so I thought my best try was trying to take it to the net there.
How do you think the series could shift coming back to Ottawa here tomorrow night?
Well, I think it's definitely it's not a series until somebody loses at home. So, we got to take care of business here and kind of have a business mindset here going into this game.
What have you learned about the starts and how important they are to these games?
Yeah, obviously, I think from last game, we came out a little bit flat. They were kind of buzzing to start the game. Got a goal there, and then we were kind of chasing throughout the second and third. But I think in the third there we finished off well. So I think our start here certainly is a big part of it here.
As somebody who's playing in their first playoff series, just how comfortable have you gotten throughout each shift, each game?
Yeah, I was definitely pretty nervous going in game one there. But yeah, I settled in. I think everybody's kind of settled in now. So looking forward to kind of enjoying that more now.
Brady talked about how there's not an ounce of doubt or panic. How would you assess the environment in the team room right now?
Yeah, I would agree with him. There's no doubt. Definitely, certainly a lot of belief here.
How would you sum up this year for you so far? Just with the extension, being able to play playoff games, and taking a step in your game?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I was just asking you, how would you sum up this year so far for you, where you've been able to take a step up in your game? You signed the contract extension earlier this year, and now you get to play NHL playoff games for the first time.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt I kind of struggled throughout the start of the year, and then kind of slowly got going, signed the contract, maybe got a touch of confidence throughout that, and then I think the second half I've been pretty good, and hopefully keep that going now.
Linus, following game one, you said it's important to have the mind of a goldfish. What's your approach following game two?
It's the same thing. It's just stick with the process all day long. We've done it since game one or day one of training camp as well. You got to focus on being in the present, learn from the past, and being excited about it.
Despite the results, what are you liking most from your team's game?
I would say that we're playing a really solid, 60-minute game and so. Like, we're wearing them down, we're doing the right things. We're not just second-guessing our opportunities. No, we're taking the pucks to the net. A lot of these things that needs to be done every game, I think that we're doing. We're not really getting the results that we want, obviously. But if we stick with it, I'm certain that the Lady Luck will be on our side.
What are some of the things you're learning? You said, it's important to learn from the past and use that in the future. What are some of the things you've learned in the past here, in these past two games?
Well, it's hard to say exactly for me, myself. For me, it's just about enjoying it as the kind of like enjoying the ride a little bit. It's always, every game is a new beast to tame in a way, so you can't really think that last game is going to be the same thing as today's game. So every game is a new opportunity to prove yourself and having fun with it and try to be a better you. And that's what we try to do. It's always a fun thing to play in the playoff situations when there's a little bit more on the line and there's a little bit more jitters. And for me at least, that's what I'm excited about.
What did you think of how Anthony Stolarz was physically with Ridley Greig?
I didn't really care about that. It's up to them. We all want to play, we all want to win, and so it is a playoff mentality in itself. We all have different ways of playing the game, and so I only focus on what I can do out there, and I don't try to get riled up in whatever business they're doing on the other side of the ring. My job is to stop pucks, and how I do it is how I do it.
If there's a guy in your crease, though, do you ever get physical with them?
What's that?
If there's a guy in your crease, do you ever kind of just shove them back and make sure
It all depends. When push comes to shove, try to step away from anything like that. But it's not like I'm going out there and try to seek opportunities to do it. It's not a part of me. It's not a part of my game.
What are aspects of Ridley Greig's game that you appreciate?
I would say one of the things is very hardworking. Sometimes simple is the best thing as well, and he brings the same kind of a game and the mentality every single night, and that's something I really appreciate about him, in a way that he doesn't shy away from going to the hard areas.
How would you assess your first 2 games so far?
What do you think? Okay, that's fine. Well, results hasn't gone the way that we wanted to, obviously, but nothing you can do about it now. I think things are going in the right direction, and that's something that to take the positives with it. I don't try to dwell on the past or anything like that. We have a game tomorrow as well that I'm excited about to play, and it doesn't matter how it's gone lately. That's the thing. You can lose a game with 6-2, or you can win a game 1-0. It doesn't matter. It's all about taking the next step and focusing on the next one.
Given what you saw in this rink down the stretch, what do you anticipate the atmosphere being like in here tomorrow night?
I don't even know if I can imagine it. It's hard. I'm excited about seeing what the Ottawa fan base can bring, though. I'm really excited about that.
How important will the start be tomorrow night?
Well, it's always nice to come out guns blazing as well, but you got to have a little bit of a joyful aggression to it as well, of not going too hard and just because you're so jacked up and caught up in the moment to just start running guys from behind just because you're a little bit too eager to do things or prove yourself. So you got to tame it down a little bit and do the right things. But at the same time, it's important to go out there and play a 60-minute game and not just a 55 or a 50 or something like that. So yes, the start is a part of the whole thing, and equally as important as the rest of the game.
Do you notice a difference in your team's play or how your team plays after it scores first? You have the best record in the NHL when scoring first.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think that it doesn't matter really. We came back from a 2-0 deficit again yesterday as well, so that's something that we kind of have to build up on as well, and we showed lately at the end of the season as well that we can win games in different type of manners and play in front but also from the back.
Brady said there's not an ounce of doubt or panic in the locker room right now. Would you agree with that statement?
I totally agree with that.
Linus, obviously with all the power play goals and releases that are happening very quickly, have you ever experienced something where it's like so many power play goals have gone in such a short span of time?
Not that I can recollect in a way, but nothing you can do about that. We know they're a highly skilled team, and they have a lot of different options and try to win the territorial game, but also have their power play advantages in every single game. And so, it is what it is.
Yeah, I thought we played a good hockey game last night. Playoff hockey, you can play well and lose, and would have been nice to get the win. But we're moving on today and getting ready for tomorrow.
I went over the video of the overtime goal last night. Was there a chance that there might have been too many men on the ice for the Leafs? And
I think there was a couple last night. Definitely, the Tavares breakaway was too many men. I think they had 7 guys. We looked over it, but in the overtime one, arguably you could say there was, but it's part of the game.
What did you think of the contact with Anthony Stolarz and Ridley Greig? That transpired where Anthony Stolarz was just hacking at Ridley Greig the whole time.
Yeah, it was. I think the video kind of speaks for itself. I'm not quite sure where. I didn't see the roughing by Ridley. I saw. Yeah, it was like I said. The video kind of speaks for itself. I think Stolarz is a fiery guy, and again, I don't really know where the coincidentals came from there, but refs have a tough job to do.
Kyle, what's your expectation? Oh, hold on. We have microphones. Kyle, ask the question first.
Yeah, I mean, they blocked a lot of shots
Yeah.
last game. I mean, obviously part of that is because you're putting shots towards the net, but I'm curious what you think of kind of your team's shot selection in the early going.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit with our defensemen. We have to be selective in our shot. You can't just take shots for the sake of it. It's easy to say you can do a better job in getting pucks through, and yet the other team has a say in that. And they've done a good job blocking shots. But I think that's an area that our D can be a little better at.
What's your expectation being back here home for a playoff game?
Expectation is to play good, play another good hockey game. Commit to playing 60 minutes the right way, and if you do that, more times than not, it's going to end up in your favor.
Fair.
Hey, Travis. Just going back to that overtime goal, we were just speaking with Drake.
Yeah.
It's like you live and you learn.
Yep.
What's your message to a player like that who's kind of owning up to a mistake on the ice?
Yeah, I grabbed Drake last night. Just, you do live and learn, first of all, and it can eat you up. I want to make sure that he doesn't dwell on it. I think it goes back to a lot of the lessons that we've learned this year. You can't live in the past. You can learn from the past and live in the present. And when you make a mistake that you don't like, that ends up in the back of your net, it doesn't feel good. It's funny, he could have been the hero with 50 seconds left in the game. He does a lot of good things for our team. And it's easy to say that goal cost us. I mean, ultimately it did, but there was no guarantee that we were winning the game as well. If that play didn't happen, they could have still won the game some other point in overtime. So I think it's important that you understand the mistakes or whatever, you learn and you move on, and you can't dwell on it. And I'm excited for him to get another chance to play tomorrow as well.
Just to follow up on that too, in the last 2 games, I think you guys have allowed 2 goals in the first 3 or 4 shots. How do you address the starts?
Well, I think one puck went off Morgan Riley's skate, one puck went off Jensen, and I don't know how you stop it. It's not like you're just going to stop them, but they got a couple lucky bounces, and but they're also going to the net and getting pucks there, and but I've liked our game. I don't think even though we fell behind 2-0, we weren't getting outplayed drastically or anything like that. And this game is, like I've said it many times, you can play well and be behind, and our team's done a good job for the last 3 or 4 months. If things aren't going their way, resetting and during the game and not getting away from it and moving on, and not just during the game, but from game to game. And I think that's important in playoff hockey. And these are all things that we've been trying to talk to our team about during the regular season, and hopefully it helps in the playoffs.
Alex?
Hey, Travis. I'm just curious about your penalty kill. Obviously, it's not where you'd like it to be. What areas do you think you can improve upon heading
Well,
forward?
I think it's 34 seconds that we'd like to have back. We'd have 4 goals back. So, again, they scored 3 goals the first game and within a few seconds of each penalty kill. So it's hard to just sit there and say, hey, our penalty kill's been a real problem. From the outside looking in, they've scored 4 power play goals, and last night's a good example of them getting a bit of a bounce, but them also going to the net and getting that bounce, and they've deserved the goals. I don't mean they haven't, but there's certain parts of your penalty kill that you break down, and then there's certain parts where you just got to bear down.
Bruce?
Is that a byproduct too of like 4 goals in 38 seconds? That's a byproduct of losing a face-off or something too, isn't it?
Well, it's easy to say that. I mean, the first game, for sure, we lost 3 draws and puck ended up in our net. They got good face-off guys, though. It's you know, I've taken a lot of face-offs, and it's because you want to win it doesn't mean you're going to win it. And Claude Giroux's a really good face-off guy, and so is Pintz, and sometimes you lose them.
One of the things that you've ensured with this team is that they turn the page.
Yeah.
Is that paramount in playoff time?
Yeah, I think turning the page is important, whether you win or lose, and especially in playoff time. But also, from game to game, playing better in areas that you need to play better. There are certain things that we wanted to do from game 1 to game 2 that I thought really helped, and then from game 2 to 3, each team's going to kind of make a few little adjustments here and there, and you hope that they help. And that's a big part of playoff hockey as well.
Jackson?
Just to go back to Ridley for a second, just what have you seen from him over his first 2 playoff games that kind of stand out as a player that's had an impact?
I mean, nothing that doesn't surprise me with Ridley. I think players like him are big game players. They like playing in these kind of scenarios, situations. He loves the game. He plays hard. He's physical. He's still young, still learning. Lucky to have him. I'm sure there's, teams like players like that.
Austin Matthews has had a relatively quiet series offensively this season. I know. I'm not trying to. What's working so well? What's working so well for you guys right now? Containing him a little bit. And how much are you looking forward to getting last change now playing at home?
Yeah, it'd be better. It'll be nice. We didn't chase it hard than we started to. Yeah, man, he's a good player. If you're not standing on the other bench, you like watching him. So, but it's hard to keep good players quiet, and it's not just offense that he brings either. He's a good player in his own zone, and yeah, so we'll try to contain him as much as we can, much like they're going to try to do the same with our players.
Later in the game yesterday, you put up Fabian Zetterlund up the lineup.
Yeah.
What do you think he's brought a little bit to the top 2 lines when he's on it?
Yeah, he's got some speed in his game. I've kind of thrown him around different spots too, double shifted him for a while on a couple different lines. He's got good hands, and he's, I think as the series goes on, players that have quickness, it's beneficial.
There's been so much emphasis on the inexperience of the team in terms of the playoffs. How have you noticed guys become more comfortable, maybe shift by shift, or even just from game 1 to 2? And what do you expect for game 3?
Yeah, I thought there was a big difference in our team yesterday. I thought individually we had some players that needed to play better, and they did. I think our team felt a little more comfortable. And you got to remember, when you're playing on the road in the playoffs, the atmosphere plays into the game as well. It's loud, the building's rocking, and every little hit that they make is the building erupts. It's a little bit different for guys, and that's the exciting part, though. That's the part you love, and I felt our guys just played a little more comfortable last night, but still played with a lot of urgency in their game. The intensity level was high. I thought the emotional control of our game was much better in game 2. And I thought we played a very disciplined game. And as far as not just our play, but penalty-wise, we still played physical, but there wasn't a lot of chances for us to get a penalty against us last night. I thought we did a very, very good job of keeping our cross-checks down, playing through the body legally, and we're going to have to do that going forward.
And then what goes into the decision today to just have an off-ice workout and not have guys on the ice in terms of preparation?
It was easy. You're exerting a lot of energy. It's not something that is new to our team. We've you know, there's a long stretch where we were traveling a lot and getting in it late. We were on the road for a long time there for a while. And you're also spending a lot of energy in these games, a lot more than regular season. The pace, the physicality of the game, you can see, you know, as the series goes on, both teams are going to get a little tired, and you know, from the physicality part, but also the energy that you exert just skating. And you know, I think it's important that, you know, we do a good job making sure that our energy level's high.
Coach, it's a new experience for all these players, or a lot of the players, in playing a home playoff game for the first time as well. Emotional control, is that going to be a key tomorrow as well?
Will be. There's going to be a lot of energy. It's, you know, I know we're all looking forward to playing tomorrow. And yet we want to come out and establish our game, want to play with purpose, and yet we need to make sure that we're playing whistle to whistle and playing a very disciplined game. But we're looking forward to it, I can tell you that.
Coach, you double shifted Brady on the power play last night, led to the first goal. Should we anticipate, as the margin for error gets smaller, that we'll start to see the shortening of the bench?
Yeah, a little bit, little tweaks here and there. I don't know about shortening, but you know, sometimes as a coach, you're looking for any kind of edge that you can. Just felt like Brady was fresh there in that moment. It was one of those power plays where I think we had only kept the first unit out for 50 seconds, and you're kind of on the fence about, you know, do we change them, do we not? And we like both units, and just felt like keep them out there.